Hey everybody, Tony D, with another calming video because I know there's a lot going on with the election and people are kind of freaking out. They're also excited, but they're also freaking out. Now, the first thing I think we need to do is calm your S. Again, I urge people to remain calm. I do think ultimately Trump will prevail. It's going to be very costly. It's going to be a hard fought thing. Certainly, if you're in any of the swing states, you should be out there peacefully protesting on behalf of Trump. For those of you not, you should be writing your congressman. I wrote my congressman. Write your senators, write your congressmen. Tell them how you feel. Be nice. Say, this is a travesty. There should be a massive investigation. There's obviously voter fraud. To give you just sort of the highlights of the stuff I've been seeing. Oh, excuse me. Project Veritas already has documented malfeasance in Minnesota, Texas, Pennsylvania, twice, and Michigan. There's a guy going on the record tonight. He's going to talk about the Pennsylvania stuff. That may have been coordinated at a higher level, according to one of the postal workers. We have a situation in Michigan where a Republican who thought he lost wasn't even going to challenge the vote. They called him up and said, no, you won. And he said, well, what happened? I thought I lost. It turns out there was some sort of computer malfunction with the software. They fixed it for him, and he won the election by 1,000 votes, which he was running for a much further down ballot space. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but he won by 1,000 votes, which is a lot for the small office he was running for. And the problem with that is that same software was used in 47 counties for the vote. So Michigan is a freaking mess now. I mean, Pennsylvania Wisconsin's got this deal with the 100,000 votes that mysteriously showed up. Nevada's got a lot of problems. Arizona. Today they launched they launched criminal charges against people in Nevada for either writing the wrong address or pretending like they were a resident when they weren't. You know, the beer virus moved a lot of people out of California and a lot of places. They moved around, and depending on when you moved and depending on the rules of the state, you may not have been eligible. You may not have been a full resident yet, and people voted anyway. The real problem here, though, with the voting is the arrogance of la resistance. And that's not the regular Democrats who may have still hung on for Biden. That is the hard left and the people who have been radicalized by the media. They think, there are videos all over social media of people filling out multiple ballots. That's illegal. It's a federal crime. If they find out who you are, you could go to prison. It's a 3.5-year sentence and a $10,000 fine in at least one state. That's not small potatoes. You're going to do at least a year in prison. Okay? The woman who was a poll watcher and bragged about throwing out Trump ballots and did little selfies on Facebook and bragged to everybody on social media, she's in enormous trouble. The FBI is investigating this. People are going to jail. And let me tell you something, la resistance people. The Democrats aren't going to save you, even if they win this. Their cynical and much more strategic move would be to go, oh, we've got these people who tried to cheat on our behalf. What should we do about them? Oh, prosecute them. Yeah. We'll be able to say that the irregularities were due to a couple of handful of kooks and not us. See, we don't get the blame. See how that works, dummies? They will throw you in prison. They will step on the gas. They will use their influence to make sure you are convicted. It's all going the other way, dummies. You can't commit federal crimes and expect to get away with it. We have tons of this stuff on video. It's not going away. And there is no possible way, none, that the FBI or whomever's, I'm not exactly sure. I assume it's the FBI because it's statewide. I don't think there's any possible way to have this all investigated in the next month and a half. No way. There's just too many instances, which means it's highly likely this thing goes to the Supreme Court and they dump it all on their desk and they say, what do we do here, folks? The Supreme Court is probably not going to want to handle this ball. So they're going to say, well, this isn't our job. Send it back to Congress. Let them vote. If that happens, now they might not. They might actually vote, in which case it's likely Trump would get it unless some crazy thing happens and the justices lose their damn minds. And I don't say that as a partisan thing. I say that because it would be better for Trump to win. Right now, we have Trump in office and the left is rioting. Okay, yeah, we've had to suffer that for over 150 days now. No, it ebbs and flows, but it hasn't really stopped. If they alienate the right, and all indications are these extreme leftists won't stop, you're now going to have the extreme leftists and the righties in the streets protesting. You're going to have even more people, and then there are going to be, of course, clashes. So for the good of the country, the justices may decide, well, we really got to give it to Trump. He looks like he probably won anyway. If it goes to Congress, though, the way the delegates suss out, you only get one vote per state. And apparently, for whatever reason, the Republicans control that by about 2 votes. So they're likely to split amongst party lines and give it to Trump. That is how I see this going. What should we do if, God forbid, this doesn't happen and they successfully steal the election? Well, let's talk about that in the next video.